Hi everybody! I wanted to make some stuffed zucchini blossoms, and we had a great garden this year in spite of the drought in California. So I found these beautiful flowers. They're zucchini flowers, and I thought, what a waste to just have them there and just not do anything with them. So there's so many ways that you could do these zucchini flowers. You can slice them up, put them in quesadillas. You can stuff them and serve them on top of a soup. So I'm going to make stuffed zucchini flowers and or blossoms. And I'm going to start off with this cornstarch. Cornstarch is a key ingredient because it's going to make it like a tempura. So first I'm going to wash my hands, so that's important. So I'm going to mix about a half of the cornstarch. You can buy it at any store, and make sure it doesn't have any other ingredients in it, and half of all-purpose flour. And then I'm going to put about, let's see, I'm going to come back over here and do a teaspoon of baking powder. I use the no aluminum baking powder. Put that in there. And I'm going to do about a fourth of a teaspoon of ground black pepper or some cayenne. And actually, because I couldn't make up my mind, I want to use both. And the cayenne's going to give it a little bit of a kick, and then I'm going to put some sea salt, about a half teaspoon of sea salt. I'm not going to use a lot of sea salt because in my filling I'm going to have some savory spices as well. And then I'm going to stir this up. And I have some cayenne pepper, and these are measuring spoons, and they actually have a smidget, a pinch, and a dash. So I'm going to use a pinch. Put that in there of the cayenne pepper. And cayenne pepper is so strong. You know, you have to be careful because it can, if you want to unclog your nasal cavity, this is a good way of doing it. But it's also, the little fibers kind of go up, and kind of molecules that come out of it, and they can go in your eyes, and you have to be very careful. I have to be careful because I can actually feel it on my skin. I'm super sensitive. So I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to mix this up. A pinch of cayenne pepper. And then I'm going to pour my club soda, which is about 3/4 cup club soda, excuse me. And then I'm going to break one egg. It's really easy. Mix it up. Pour it in there. Then I'm just going to mix it. Stir it up real good. Thought that was someone knocking, but it's actually my cart here. It's kind of difficult, so because I have a small kitchen space, but I make it work. These little carts are really nifty. You can kind of carry them around the whole kitchen, and I'm really fortunate to have a kitchen space. So I just mix it up really well, and then what I'm going to do is actually put it in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes at least. So since we're short on time, I figure let me just stick it in the freezer, and we'll go from there. So now I'm going to make the filling. And while that's cooling down, we want the batter to cool down. I'm going to make the filling. And what I have here is a half cup of cream cheese and another half cup of ricotta. Because I have a little bit more flours than I expected, I just upped it a little bit. But that batter that I made in there, I mean, that's good for about a good, at least 2 dozen large ones. And, but some, I have various sizes here. And I can actually, I made about 15 fried stuffed zucchinis, and but I have enough there, I'm sure, for almost 2 dozen. So what I'm going to do is add, I have some oregano, and so I like the oregano. It's really nice. It's a nice, tasty, kind of brings out like that little, I don't know, it's kind of I would say earthy, but yet it's nice and fresh at the same time. So I'm going to put in about a couple tablespoons of the breadcrumbs seasoned with the Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese. And you can also make your own breadcrumb by drying up a piece of bread and adding some Parmesan cheese. I mean, it's that easy. So I'm going to stick this all in there with our ricotta and our cream cheese. And then I have here some basil that I chiffonade. Basil, so I love basil, and I want to bring that garden fresh flavor in there. Now, if you have a mixer, which I do, you can easily mix this up. So what I'm going to do, if you can see me, is mix this up, and real quick. I hope you can see me. Can you see me? So, put it in there, mix it up. And kind of mix it up really fast here. Use the spatula. See the spatula here? I use that to kind of scrape off. It's really nifty to have to scrape off all the cream cheese off the mixer, which is pretty cool. Alrighty. I have that. And I'm going to put this in a bag. In a piping bag. If you've ever heard of piping bag, I have a plastic bag here. You can get it at any craft store, and then a tip. And I just kind of swirl that in there. Make sure it's all going to go in there, and I don't want it to waste. So I'm going to put this in here. This is so much fun. You can do this with a group of people. You can do this with your friends. You can do this. I enjoy doing this. When I started doing, I said, oh my gosh, I found my niche. I love piping, but more so, not just, I like piping savory food. So I use the piping method for a lot of different foods. So, on your blossoms, see, it's got a little stick when you first pick them. And what you want to do is I left this one on purpose so that you can see how I do it. So, and you just kind of pull that off gently. You see that? And that's the little pollinator. So what happens is some of the zucchini squash that's growing in the garden does not become pollinated. So it just becomes a flower. And it's perfect because you could eat the flowers. And then I slightly rinse them. Just discard all the little bugs that are on there. That could happen, you know, because one time we had a bee fly out, so you have to be kind of careful. So what I do, use this towel to wipe this off. What I want to do is I want to pipe it from the inside of that. See how perfectly that, so I don't have to, see? And I pipe these. They're so pretty. And don't worry about them splitting, because when you put the batter on it, it's going to cover all that up. So I just want to make sure I get enough filling in there. And all my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful zucchini, or any squash flower for that matter, but I love my zucchini. We have a couple of different squashes that are growing out there, and but the zucchini ones to me are my favorite because they're so long and they just look so pretty. I just love them. So much fun. Once you get the hang of it, it kind of flows. This is so much fun. You could do this with the kids. Or if you just want to do it, I mean, this would be a great, even, you know, for breakfast. I know that sounds odd, but since it has the egg in it, in the batter, and brunch, oh, these make a great brunch treat. You don't really need a lot. I know a couple of them I did kind of get a little bit, hope you can see that. See how I'm just kind of pushing it in there, and let me see if I can get some more of this out, because this stuff is so delicious. The breadcrumbs really bring a lot of the flavor in it. And I love the basil because that makes it even more of a gardeny flavor. And they're so fun to eat. Oh my gosh, they're so fun to eat. I just love them. I fell in love when I first made them. I said, oh my God, these are good. Oh, with a little bit of white wine and a salad, and it's almost like a little chili relleno, but not the chili, but a blossom. So we got that going, and I ran out, so that's okay. I'm gonna check that batter and stir it up a little bit. I hope you can hear me, so it can get nice and cold. So I'm really doing a fast freezer. And now I kind of drizzle some of this batter, so I gotta clean it up. I know you can't see me. That's good. So while that's still cooling off the batter, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn on the stove, and I have 50-50, which is extra virgin olive oil and your favorite vegetable oil. I like using canola oil because to me it's a little bit healthier, and it's that light, it gives it a more of a light flavor. So mix up both. You don't need much, so get that mixed up in there. Kind of stir it up a little bit. You don't need much. going to do is bring this over here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And you can actually dip these without any fillings in it. You just kind of put the batter on them. I don't know. I might use them later for quesadillas because they are kind of tasty. And I might put a little bit too much, but we can take some of that out and put it in the bag. It's okay. My hands are clean. I'm constantly washing my hands. Matter of fact, in my culinary class, I used to get yelled at for washing my hands too much. I don't think anybody can wash their hands too much. Maybe that's my little compulsive side, washing my hands. So, well, it's better than not washing them, right? Drop that in there. I'm going to take some of this out. And I like touching food, so I try not to touch the food. I know. As much as possible, but this makes it a little bit easier for me. It's kind of, it's playful. How could you not want to do this? This is like so much fun. So much fun. Alrighty. So now we have my variety. Let's see if I can get one more out of this. And my heat, I can feel that it's getting warm over here. I got one more, which is nice. See, my hands getting all yucky. That's okay. I'm usually a lot cleaner than this, but I'm going to get a smaller one here. Try to get everything that I can, all the filling that I can in there. Ah! There. That was fun. Now, get my tongs. I'm going to need that. I need some tongs. Now I'm going to need a plate to put those in. And usually I have some paper towels, but looks like running low on paper towels here. So I'm going to stick that so it can drain down on top. See, it's one of those little wire racks. These are nifty. You can get them at the dollar store even. I've gotten, or at a yard sale, and or just at your local store. They're not very expensive, and they're nice to have. And then I'm going to get stir this up. Now I'm normally supposed to keep this in for 20 minutes, but since our time is kind of running low here, I'm going to go ahead and use them. So what I do is I just kind of take it from the bottom here, and then I just kind of dunk them in there. Just kind of dunk them. Then I want to adjust my heat because I don't want them to burn. So I have it high to heat it up. Now I'm going to put on medium. Then put on my fan. I have one of those fans that aren't very fancy. And then just going to make sure the batter's on every bit of it. And then I'm just going to gently put them in there. Be careful, you don't want to burn your fingers. Got someone that was helping me catering one day in at one event, and we had the fire going on very high because we had to do like 500 taquitos, and she, poor thing, she burnt her fingers. It was horrible. But you see how nice that's just, oh well, you can't see, but I'll show them in a minute. Oh yeah, see? You just kind of drop them in there. So much fun. Woohoo! That's fun. And it's easy. I mean, look how easy this is. Sometimes you go to those fancy restaurants and, oh my God, but if you're on a budget and you can't afford it, I mean, I certainly can't afford it. So, why not make your own and invite some friends over? Now I'm gonna wash my hands in between so that I don't get too yucky. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to turn them over. I need to put a little bit more heat on there. You don't want to cook them too long. Let's say for about at least a couple minutes on each side would be fine. Until they're golden. But I would adjust it like I said. Have it hot and then lower it so you can have that little medium-high heat. Oh, they're so good. And then you can have your favorite salsa with them. I mean, just be creative. You can think of maybe a peach salsa. You can make a peach salsa and kind of serve them with a side order of chicken and a salad. And oh my gosh, they're so delicious. Well, once you start stuffing and making these zucchini or squash blossoms, I'm going to tell you, you're going to want them every summer. I guarantee you will. Put that one in there. Trying to keep track of them. But aren't these beautiful? Oh my gosh. They're just beautiful. And I would advise to eat them right away. That's about good. Moisture going on in there. You have to be very careful. That looks good. A little bit of the cheese kind of flew out, so that's what you have to be careful for. Now while that is we get the sample. A nice fork, and then I'm going to sample this. See? Beautiful that is. Oh my god. And this recipe that I have was absolutely delicious. I mean, who knew that zucchini blossoms were, or flowers were just this delicious? Oh my gosh. Now the little black speckles in the oil, that's the pepper. So don't be afraid of that at all. So I mean, you want to make sure that the edges are kind of closed up, because we don't want to have splashy frying oil going all over the place. Beautiful, beautiful. You're so beautiful. Oh, you escaped out of there. Oh. I have to clean that up. These are so, I can't stop eating them. So, I made a few. You can see what they look like. They are so delicious. Like I said, here's from my kitchen to yours. I just wanted to share one of my favorite treats, my summer treats. Ching ching.